right, we are live on YouTube, and today we are going to be discussing everything you need to know about insecure men. And boy, oh boy, you are not going to want to miss a single second of this show. So stick around for all of that and much, much more. Morning Coffee with Coach Eli starts right now. Live from Northern California, welcome to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli. Oh my gosh, I almost said Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. I have to remember which show I'm doing, but I caught myself. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open, and I say this most importantly to the insecure men out there, open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell. And after you bang that bell, when that pop-up box pops up, make sure you select all notifications, because that way you won't miss a single thing. You will not miss anything when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And also make sure on your smartphone, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android, or anywhere that you have the YouTube app installed on, you must also make sure that the YouTube app is set to receive those notifications at a device level. You do all of that. I'll give you a big round of applause. And also, like I always say, a big, huge digital round of applause as well. Gotta love the digital round of applause, right? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is 11:33 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 8:33 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. In my neck of the woods, I am in beautiful, sunny Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, Redwood City to be exact. And you know what? I did a show last night, and I figured that today would be a pretty busy day with my day job, but it's been quite a light day so far. So I said, you know what? I'm all caught up. I got up early. I got some rest last night. I got up early, and it got into my head that I had to do this topic. I had to do this topic because, you know, I've talked about this topic throughout many of my past live streams and videos, but I wanted to dedicate an entire show to it. And I also wanted to critique and share with you folks another blog posting that I've known about for a while, and see what you folks think, especially what you guys think out there. I know a lot of you insecure men out there are not going to really like this. To you secure men, you're going to love it. You're going to love it because you're secure and nothing phases you. When you're a secure man and you love yourself and deep within nothing bothers you, no matter what other people try to do to you or say about you, it's not going to matter, right? And to you ladies out there that have been struggling to find a good man, and let's say you find a good man and you're physically attracted to him, he's a pretty decent lover. You know, he may even take you out to dinner and do all of the right things, with the exception that he lacks security. He's an insecure man. When it comes time to discuss certain important aspects of a relationship, some men in particular, which is what I'm trying to say, they'll shut down emotionally. And when a man shuts down emotionally in front of his woman, that is the hugest insecurity that that you can ever show your woman. And once you show her that level of insecurity, then your relationship is pretty much down the toilet. It's only a matter of time before she loses respect for you, falls out of love with you, and then leaves you for another guy. How many times has that happened to you guys in the past? in my younger days, it happened to me a few times. And then I started to understand that, I'm in control of my own destiny. And I need to toughen up. I need to not let a woman's emotions get to me. I need to become more understanding to a woman's emotions, wants, and needs. And that will give me the best possible chance to make a relationship work. Queen Helen Casey's in the house. Hello, Eli. Smash the like button for Eli. Hey, Queen, how are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Okay. Give me a second here. Alex, the beer master, is in the house. Good morning, Eli. Good morning, Alex. How are you doing, man? How are you doing? Give me a second here. So anyway, hey, Queen, are you around to moderate the chat? Let me know. We're already starting to get trolled, and I need someone to moderate the chat. Alex, the beer master, if Queen's not around and you see, any projecting type of messages, just go ahead and ban them. Queen says she's doing good. You got the chat, right, Queen? It's all good. You got the chat. Because what's going to happen throughout this entire show, Queen Helen Casey and Alex, the beer master, all of these insecure men that know me are going to come in here and project their insecurities onto me within this chat. And it's just rather comical. But anyway, like I said, Alex, the beer master, says, I'm doing excellent, my friend. Queen Helen Casey says, hello, Alex. All right. So let me just go ahead and get right to it, folks. Let me go ahead and switch over to the browser source screen here, where I have this blog posting already queued up. This blog posting was written on November 14th, 2019, and it's titled, Insecurity in Men, What You Need to Know About It. Now, again, like I was mentioning a few minutes ago, ladies, if you've been wondering what's really going on with men in the modern world, especially men that are middle-aged and acting strange, acting angry, acting bitter, you're going to get your answers today. Now, I know many of you ladies out there understand insecurities, and you can pick up on a man's insecurities, but some of you may not understand it. And I'm going to explain that here today as clearly as possible. Because I'll tell you, this topic really hits home with me because it's about my own kind. I am disappointed and disgusted with the behavior of many middle-aged men nowadays. And I'm talking about men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. It just saddens me because men are supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be the rock. We're supposed to be the leader. We're supposed to be the person in charge, per se. Now, we're in the modern world, and because women have been liberated, now we share in the responsibilities, but that doesn't mean you can't be a man anymore. You still need to be a man in today's modern world. It's actually even more important to be more masculine and dominant and confident in today's modern world because women have been empowered and women are stronger, and women can pick up your insecurities just like that in 2 seconds flat. And once they pick up on your insecurities, it's over. It's over. So let's get right to it here. Let me see if it's coming through on the screen there. Yes, it is. When we think about insecurities, many of us mentally gravitate towards thinking about women. That's because women are naturally insecure. Women are insecure, and it's normal. It is absolutely 100% normal for women to be insecure. It is not normal at all for men to be even a slight bit insecure. And because women were made to be more submissive by a higher power and know to be God, they're going to look up to a man's strength, emotional strength, mental strength, physical strength, etc. But in this case, emotional strength, right? Because what happens, when men become insecure? They project, they lose their emotional shit, right? And because women, like I've been saying in many of my, recent streams, women are emotional beings, and women will respond to everything emotionally first based on how they're feeling in the present moment. They're emotional beings and they're insecure beings, and that's normal. Now, some of the modern women in today's world that have been empowered, and especially as a woman gets older, those insecurities start to decrease. And because, like I said, women have been liberated and they've been empowered nowadays, they become stronger. But despite women's empowerment, women are still more naturally insecure than men. Men should not be insecure one bit. They often worry about their bodies, age, attractiveness, and ensuring their equality. That's what women worry about, right? Perfectly normal for women to worry about those things. That is normal for women. Men, on the other hand, have it easy without nearly as much to worry about. Most people would think men don't ever feel insecure. Oh, man. You want to see a bunch of insecure men congregating on one platform? Come out here on YouTube. I used to hang out with these people. I no longer hang out with them or paying attention to them or feed into them because of this fact alone. They're insecure. I'll tell you a quick side note here. I haven't mentioned this in a while, so the new people won't remember this, but I follow a bunch of coaches that I love. One of them is Coach Corey Wayne, and another one is Coach Dan Bacon. Coach Corey Wayne is from Florida, and Coach Dan Bacon is from Australia. He has that Australian accent, right? And Coach Dan Bacon has a great set of products. And I actually purchased some of his products that tremendously helped me get through a bad breakup I went through many years ago. This was not my ex-girlfriend, Dana, my last one, the one before that. And I learned a lot more through reading his material and watching his videos. Now, he does have a YouTube channel called Dan Bacon, but this was a premium package I purchased. And it included videos as well. And as I was watching those videos, Dan Bacon would say with his Australian accent, okay, the biggest thing that turns off women are insecure men. Men that are weak, needy, desperate, and insecure. Insecure with the cure, the Australian. Weak, needy, desperate, and insecure men. And since that time, I have not been able to get those 4 words out of my mind when dealing with certain people, especially many people I used to, play in the same playground with out here on YouTube. Weak, needy, desperate, and insecure. Those 4 things right there will repel women more than a skunk would. Seriously. So let me repeat that last line of what I already read and then continue. Without nearly as much to worry about, most people would think men don't ever feel insecure. Unfortunately, that's far from the truth. Oh, that's hilarious. That is so hilarious. Men actually suffer from just as much insecurity as women, and some of the issues are very similar. For men, however, these insecurities are not often talked about, and the symptoms can manifest in different ways. Some can even be dangerous if not dealt with. Yeah. These insecure men don't love themselves, and when they're with a woman and the woman doesn't, do what this guy tells her to do, he may end up beating her up. A secure man will never put his hands on a woman unless they're making love and they're in the groove, right? That's okay. When I say put his hands on a woman is beat her up, domestic abuse, right? But that's a serious issue because insecure men are so weak, needy, desperate, and insecure that if they're with someone and their woman starts to pull away because they sense his insecurities and they're being repelled, so that the woman starts pulling away, the guy is going to probably try harder, right, to reel her back in. And if she doesn't respond, then he could get violent because he's insecure. When you're insecure, you lack something that's crucial. You lack emotional self-control. What causes insecurity in men? Look at this dude right here. Look at this picture here. Does this dude look happy? He's sitting there. He's got a cup of coffee. He's probably sitting outside the cafe. And he's probably thinking, why didn't my girlfriend walk out today? Why hasn't my girlfriend called me in 2 days? Well, dude, look at your face. Is that attractive? I mean, look, nothing wrong with a guy saying another guy's attractive. Doesn't make me, right? This guy looks like he's a good-looking dude. He's got a similar beard like me. I think he has blue eyes. Unlike me, he has a full head of hair. But it doesn't bother me, even for bald dudes. Many women love bald dudes. Many women think bald is sexy. Well, this is one attractive dude here, and he looks like he's about to cry and whine like a little teeny tiny female dog. Now, how appealing does he appear right there? If any decent woman would walk by, she'd say, wow, this guy's a good-looking guy. He dresses nice, probably smells good, but look at his face. He doesn't look approachable. Let's continue. We've only just begun. Trust me, this is like one of my most favorite topics to discuss. One of the big problems for men is actually admitting that they are insecure about anything. That's true. I have to repeat that one again. One of the big problems for men is actually admitting that they are insecure about anything. Well, that would make sense because if they were secure enough to admit that they're insecure, then they wouldn't be insecure. A secure man like me is going to come out and say, yeah, looking back in my past, I've had some insecurities, and every now and then, maybe I do get a little insecure about something here and there. But I figured that out on my own as a man, and I worked through it, and I don't project that onto anyone else. The worst thing you can do, because listen, even the strongest men on the planet are going to have insecure moments, but it's how you handle it. Do you handle it internally and work through it on your own? Or do you project that out to the universe? Do you project that onto other people? Do you project that onto your girlfriend or your wife? Those are the worst things you can do. As a man, you should have been raised to work through that shit on your own. But the way men are being raised nowadays, no wonder they're all insecure. Not all, but many of them. Many men are very insecure today. Many. Okay. Discussing shortcomings or personal worries about not measuring up is seen as a sign of weakness by many men. Socially, they have been trained to avoid looking vulnerable and displaying emotion. Now, guys, listen to me very carefully here. There's nothing wrong with you allowing yourself to be vulnerable and showing some emotion every now and then. Now, if you are showing emotion all day, every day, that's not good. In essence, that's exuding more feminine energy than masculine energy. Folks, that's why you hear some guys call men big effing peas. I'm not going to say this and get demonetized right now. I used to call it I used to call them BFPs, big effing kitty cats. Let's put it that way. You can figure out what I'm saying. BFPs, right? Let's just call them BFPs for the rest of the show, right? Because like I said earlier, women are emotional beings that respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. Men, at a natural level of being masculine, are not like that. We don't let that shit phase us. We don't. We're not supposed to, if we're real strong men. Yeah, like I said, discussing shortcomings or personal worries about not measuring up is seen as a sign of weakness by many men. Socially, they have been trained to avoid looking vulnerable and displaying emotion. Guys, you gotta listen, if you want to date a woman or get married, you've got to allow yourself to be vulnerable, or else you won't allow anyone to come into your life. Nothing wrong with a man being vulnerable at times and displaying emotion at times. Now, if you're vulnerable 100% of the time and you're displaying emotion 100% of the time, then you're a man that's behaving like a woman. And it's normal for a woman to behave that way because that's the way women were biologically made to be. That's not the way men were made to be. We were made to be the rock. We were made to be strong. But even though we were made to be strong, it doesn't mean we don't have emotions and we can't show them every now and then. And it doesn't mean that we can't allow ourselves to be vulnerable every now and then, right? Let me check out the chat here for a second. Give me a second here. Red Pill Fizz is in the house. If you're secure in your manhood, then you don't need to look down on the next man. That's right, bro. Listen, a real secure, confident alpha male would never attack another man for any reason. Or a woman for that sake. But when we're talking about, the insecure men that have attacked me, like, it's really funny. Insecure men will attack other confident men to try to, build themselves up and make them look like a badass. But any normal, decent human being, male or female, will be able to pick up on that insecurity. You're right, Fizz. And welcome to the show, bro. How you doing, man? How's it going, man? Thank you so much for being here. All right. Let's continue here. So once again, the truth is that men worry about many of the same things women do. It usually includes personal attractiveness and appeal. I take care of myself. Yes, it's not an insecurity, but I am concerned about staying healthy and fit. And that motivates me to stay healthy and fit. I don't look at that as an insecurity. I look at that as taking care of myself. And that makes me secure. Success in their career, financial success, being a good partner. I used to worry in my younger days about being a good enough partner. As I've gotten older, I know what I'm worth. I know what I'm worth, and I know that deep within, any woman would be lucky to be with a guy like me. Now, I'm not trying to sound cocky or confident. Maybe a little cocky. I mean, you got to be a little bit cocky, funny, no problem. But I'm not being arrogant. Don't get me wrong. But I had those, I had that concern in the past. I had insecurities when I was younger, thinking that I wasn't a good enough partner. But like I was saying a second ago, as I've gotten older, I know what I'm worth. And if a woman doesn't want to be with me, then it's more her than me. I know what I'm worth. And I know deep within, or even on the surface, that any woman would be lucky to be with a guy like me. And I say that in the most humble ways possible. I'm not trying to come off as cocky or arrogant. What I'm trying to say is that that's the way you should feel about yourself inside. You don't have to project that out. You don't go up to women and say, hey, I know what I'm worth. And if you don't want to be with me, then screw you. Well, then she's going to say, well, okay, screw you then, dude. You keep that within. You keep that thought within. As long as you know that thought within, you're going to come off as secure. You're going to feel good about yourself, and that will radiate off to your partner. The only reason why I mention it here is because I'm a coach, and I want to teach it to you folks. I want to teach you this, okay? Being alone in life. Heck, women don't want to be alone. I would rather not be single. Now, am I complaining every day that I'm single? No, I'm not complaining at all. Would I rather be with a good woman? Sure. But, in today's modern world, it's harder to find a good woman. So I'm going to take my time. And when the right one comes along, then I will allow myself to be vulnerable to allow her to get to know me. Aging is another insecurity amongst some men. Now, all these are insecurities for women, but many men out there nowadays that behave more feminine than masculine have these same insecurities. As far as myself goes, none of these so far faze me. Aging doesn't faze me. I'm 46 years old. And listen, I'm not trying to show up. I feel I look good for 46. I feel I look a little bit younger than my age. I take good care of myself. I'm healthy. I'm fit. Okay? Sure, I wasn't blessed with a full head of hair. I shave my head. I wear nice hats. I'm not insecure to take off my hat. I just love my hats. I used to wear hats when I had hair, when I was younger. I love the look of a hat. It's great for the camera. It's different. It stands out. When I used to go to networking events in person, I would wear hats because I would stand out. Because there were many other bald people there. Being a good parent. Being taken seriously. As far as being taken seriously, a lot of, men and women worry about that. It's more normal for women to feel that way because, again, women are naturally biologically insecure. That's just a fact. It's normal. It is normal. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away. Let me say it again. I'm not trying to take anything away from the modern day woman because a lot of women have become stronger, and as they've gotten older, they're less and less secure. Sorry, they're less and less insecure, which is what I'm trying to say. They're less and less insecure. They become more secure. But naturally, at a biological, at a level, I can't even talk, man. I'm losing my verbiage here today. Naturally, their biology makes them insecure. There we go. I got it. As far as men go, this is an insecurity that a lot of men have, and I've had this in my younger days. I don't have it anymore. But I can understand why some men would still feel this way as they get into their 30s and 40s and 50s. Being taken seriously, because women nowadays are empowered. They're free to do whatever they want to do. They make their own money, and it's harder to keep a woman around even if you do everything right. So a lot of times, men feel that if a woman is not behaving properly in the relationship, okay, even if the guy's behaving properly, the guy's going to feel like he's not being taken seriously. Well, it's not that you're not being taken seriously. It's the fact that she's not the right fit for you. And if any woman misbehaves or takes advantage of your kindness, and is not a sweet, loving, caring, nurturing woman in the same ways she would want you to be a sweet, loving, caring, nurturing, strong man, then you let her go. But yeah, all of these insecurities here, women have 100%. But many men in the modern world today, middle-aged men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, have all these insecurities as well. And it's really sad. It's really sad. And being out here on YouTube has allowed me to see it hands-on. I've never seen such a huge group of insecure men than out here on YouTube. And you know where they all came from? They came from a former community we used to all be a part of that was called the MGTOW, Men Going Their Own Way community. I've never seen so many angry and bitter and insecure men because they went through a divorce and the wife took half the money. Well, guys, the wife did her part. She earned that. If it wasn't for the wife doing her part, you would not have been able to go to work to make the money, right? A lot of these guys are just very, very angry and bitter. And in my opinion, like I mentioned before, what I also have noticed is that it's more so the conservative men. And if we had to narrow it down further, it's the middle-aged Caucasian conservative men are the most insecure men on the planet. And even Donald Trump, I think, is insecure. I'm going to come out and say it here. I think any man that feels the need to show off how much money he makes is a very insecure man. Any man that feels the need to show off anything that he's accomplished is an insecure man. If you're successful and you've got your shit together, that will naturally show itself to the right people. There's no need for you to show off how much money you have or how much more money you make than someone else. It's a big insecurity. It's the biggest insecurity out there. These are just some of the concerns that both men and women have in common. Right. But what this article is not saying is, why men are behaving this way. But that's why I'm here. The degree to which each person worries about these issues varies according to the person, not the gender. That is definitely true. Okay? Like I said, at a biological level, women were naturally made to be submissive and insecure and vulnerable, right? From a higher power that I believe to be God. Now, you may believe something else, and that's okay. I still love you despite what you believe, okay? But even though women were biologically made that way, because of the women's movement and women's empowerment, which is what I'm trying to say, and all the women's empowerment groups out there today, women have become stronger. Women have become stronger to the point of where a lot of them have learned to deal with their insecurities. To the point of where sometimes they just tune things out like strong men do. In this situation, we call those women, more of a, exuding more masculine energy. That's a woman exuding more masculine energy because it is outside of her natural essence of being feminine. being secure 100% in yourself is not a feminine characteristic biologically. But as far as men go, hang on one second here, sorry. As far as men go, they're supposed to be secure already, right? And there are still some secure men in the modern world of all ages. But there are many men out there in the modern world that are very insecure. And that has to do with their upbringing. In my opinion, has to do with their political beliefs. I hate to say it, I'm not trying to discriminate, but it has to do with race. Again, like I keep saying, or I've said on many streams, and I'm talking about my own kind here, so I'm not being prejudiced because I'm white and I love everybody despite your race, your age, your gender, national origin, whatever, right? Regardless if you're gay, straight, lesbian, bi, trans, all that, right? I love you all. But I, from what I've seen, and I've seen this over and over again, not only out here on YouTube, on other social media platforms like Facebook, I've also seen this in person. I used to run networking events. I dealt with many Caucasian, middle-aged, conservative people. And the majority of them that are men are insecure, or they project, or they show off their money, or feel they need to show something off. And to me, when anyone tries to show off, it turns me off. So yeah, when the article says the degree to which each person worries about these issues varies according to the person, not the gender, I understand that, because there are men out there nowadays that behave more like women, and there are women out there nowadays that behave more like men. It's like the polarity, the sexual polarity is split. It's a crazy world we all live in, and I'll tell you, I'm happy that women have equal rights and they've been empowered, and they can do the same things that once only men were able to do. But because of that, it has changed how men behave, how men are raised. It has changed everything. Feminism has changed everything. Again, I'm not knocking feminism, and I'm not attacking women, and I'm not trying to take away anything from women. I'm just saying it's changed everything, because like I mentioned a few streams ago, what feminism has done to women is it has artificially empowered them to be able to do things nowadays that they weren't biologically made to do or be. Again, I'm not criticizing any woman that wants to do whatever a man can do. Like I mentioned in the past, you want to be Mrs. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you want to build muscles and look all masculine, that's on you. But I'm never going to go on a date with you looking like that. I'm sorry. It's just not my cup of tea. But again, do what you want to do, right? But the reason why we have so many feminized men and so many insecure men out there nowadays is because of feminism. And because of that, men are being raised differently. Or men are being neglected by their parents when they're growing up. I know many people out here on YouTube that were neglected by their parents or didn't have the greatest upbringing at all. Then they had to go out and fend for themselves and figure it all out, and look what happened. Look what happened to these people. They become one big projector of insecurities. It's sad, but it's true. I'm only stating what I've seen. I'm not lying here, folks. I'm not trying to attack anyone. I'm just stating what I've seen. And it's sad because I really want to help men become men again. Men, most of you have had your nuts dismantled in the modern world. It's time to get your nuts back. It's time to go and grab your nuts back and put them back on and say, I'm a man. And I'm not going to project on any other man or woman. I'm not going to show off how much money I make. I'm not going to project if someone's making more money than me. I'm not going to attack any other man because he's more successful than me. I'm a man. I'm out here to make something happen for myself and hopefully share it with as many good people that come into my life. Whether it's friends, whether it's dating partners, whether it's a wife. If a good woman comes around and the guy gets married, you guys seriously have to ask yourselves, what's going on? This is what really makes me sad about the modern world. I'm saddened that men just don't know how to be men anymore. They don't act like men. They whine and complain more than women do. Like seriously, from what I've seen, not only out here on YouTube and other social media platforms, but in my life outside of YouTube, outside of social media, I'm seeing men whine and complain and bitch and moan more than women do. And it's more natural for women to do that. I've seen men PMS more than women. This topic makes me really hot. This topic really, really makes me hot. We're at 58 minutes, folks. I'm going to read a little bit more and then take a break and come back and finish the rest of the article. Boy, I've been showing a Motel 6 ad. Oh, it's all good. If I can help, no problem. All right. Men do, however, suffer from additional insecurities that are more specific to being a man. Some of these issues may seem antiquated. However, like it or not, gender roles are still prominent in our society. Well, I wish that was true. I mean, they should be. Because let's just face it, some things women are better at than men, and some things men are better at than women. But no, gender roles have gone out the window. Both the man and the woman, we're not like, I keep using my ex as an example. But, when I would spend time with her, and I would stay, a few days each week at her place on the weekends, I would help her with the household chores. I would help her with everything. We did everything 50-50. I never complained. She never complained. I actually offered because I had a lot of respect for her, and she treated me very well. And for me, if a woman treats me very well with respect and genuinely cares about me, I'll do anything for her. Anything. And I don't care if that makes me sound like a big sissy. Because if she's that respectful to me, she's going to get my respect back in return. Whether you agree with them or not, their influence can be the source of insecurity for men in particular. So what this article is trying to say here is whether you agree with gender roles or not, their influence can be the source of insecurity for men in particular. It's pretty simple, guys. Guys nowadays should know how to do their own laundry, wash their own dishes, wash their car, vacuum, sweep, mop, scrub the toilet, the bathtub, kitchen sink. If you were not taught that growing up, if you didn't have household chores from your parents growing up, then I feel sorry for you. You did not have a great upbringing. You didn't learn. You didn't learn how to run your own household, which is very crucial. It's very important. In my honest opinion, I honestly feel that men and women in the modern world should work together more so now than ever and share equally in the responsibilities, of the household chores and other necessities involving the relationship, if it's a marriage, the family, the kids, etc., right? I've never had a problem doing my part of the chores in any relationship I've been in. It's never been a problem because, I'm not a lazy guy. And when I care about a woman, I'm proactive. I will go and do something before she would even ask me to do it. I'll go wash the dishes, even if she just had something to eat. I would go and wash that dish that she ate off of before she would even ask me to do it or before she'd go do it herself. I'm proactive. And that's attractive to women because basically you're being a good leader. You're being a good man. You're not being lazy. That's a secure man. That's the way a secure man behaves. Secure, confident man. Men today still often worry and feel insecure about the following. That's where I'm going to stop for right now. Let me go back up here. And then when I come back from break, I'm going to continue with this article before I shut this show down. Let me come back to full screen for a second. Yeah, folks, check out the picture here. You've got this dude with his girlfriend. He's like this, right? He's got his head drooped down. He's next to her. She's got her shoulders all shrugged up. He's next to her, but he's like, what the hell? Why the hell is she mad at me? I can't figure this out. Why is she mad at me? She's really cute and sexy, and, I just wish we could just go and hit the bedroom and just forget about this, right? Well, dude, you could if you knew how to handle your shit. If you were secure enough to look her in the eye and say, hey, babe, what's going on? Did I screw up? Tell me what I did wrong so I can fix it. See, a secure man would notice and pick up when his woman is unhappy about something, whether it involves him or anything else she's unhappy about outside of him. He would pick up on the fact that there's something off, and he would say, hey, babe, I notice you're not feeling well. You're not talkative. You're not being yourself. Is there anything wrong? Did I do anything wrong? Or is there anything else wrong I can help you with, right? And you look her in the eye. You make eye contact with her. You don't sit there and go off the side there, dude. That's a BFP mood. Big effing kitty. Big effing kitty. And let me tell you, when you're confident and you are not afraid to confront your lady when she's unhappy, she's going to respect you a lot more despite the outcome. But usually the outcome will work itself out if you're a strong man and you don't run away from the problems. When it comes to a relationship, it takes a lot of work. You have to understand that women are emotional beings. And if you can't understand that and you don't like that, then you know what? Stay single and go to the bathroom every day and, get a Playboy or something and take care of yourself and call it a night. If you want to date women like this cute chick over here, she's pretty cute. I'd take her out. I'd more than take her out. And we're all wearing white. That's pretty cool. She's mad because he's being insecure and she knows it. She's like, why won't he talk to me? I have an issue here and it's a real legitimate issue. He won't talk with me. She's totally sensing his insecurities. And if he continues to behave that way, even if they patch things up here, eventually she'll fall out of love with him and then she'll let him go. Then he'll be scratching his head for quite some time, maybe shedding some tears, maybe punching a wall or something, right? Anyway, let me cue up some music. Let me cue up some music and take a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break, and then I'm going to come back and wrap up the blog before I end the show. So let's see here. What do I want to play? Let's see here. All right. I got some music queued up. I'll be back in just a few, folks. Do not go anywhere. That's great coffee. Great coffee. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. It is 12:32 p.m. on the East Coast, Eastern Daylight Time, 9:32 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in Northern California or on the West Coast. Today, we're talking about insecurities, and I'm glad you could all join me here today for this very, very crucial and important topic, folks. And I know that people just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the truth. But the truth of the matter is, I'm doing this because I genuinely want to help people get a better grip on their lives. And if they can work through their issues, especially the men out there that are struggling with emotional issues and insecurities and maybe depression or whatever else you're going through, I want to help you work through it, but you have to be open to allowing myself or anyone else to help you get through it, to work through it. If not, let me ask you this. Do you want to live the rest of your life being an insecure man, being weak, needy, desperate, and like I said, insecure? How fun is that? Do you want to be around happy people? Do you want to be around a woman that's happy and smiles and you know, just loves you for you and enjoys you for you? Well, if you want that, you have to project the same thing. Instead of projecting your insecurities to people, project your happiness like I do. Project your passion. Project your strengths, not your weaknesses. I don't know what it's going to take to get through to every single man out there. And I'm talking about the grown-ass adult men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. What's it going to take for you guys to turn this around? What do you need from me or anyone else to help you work through these issues? What can we do for you? We want to lend a helping hand. But again, unless you're open to it, unless you deep within yourself start to realize that I really don't like the way I'm living my life. I really don't like the type of people I'm attracting. Why am I attracting these types of people? Why am I attracting these types of women as a man? Why? I'm attracting them because that's how I am. Okay? You attract like-minded people. If you behave a certain way, you're going to attract people that behave that certain way as well. So you got to dig deep within yourself, do some soul searching, and come to the realization that, hey, I need to work on myself. I've had to do it myself many times. I work on myself each and every day. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. But when I make a mistake, or two or three or four or five, I own it. I wasn't like that when I was younger because I wasn't as experienced. I had to learn. I had to become stronger. And you can do it too if you want to do it. If not, and you prefer to live a miserable life for the rest of your life, then that's on you. Fizzin, I just said the same thing. The bottom line is there's a 25-second delay from what I'm saying to what goes out to you guys. Eli, no disrespect, but if they don't want your help, then F them. That's their problem, not yours. I'm speaking in general, Fizzin. I'm not talking about people that we've been involved with out here on YouTube. Yes, those people, those guys are very insecure as well. There's no doubt about it. But there are a lot of men in this world, not only out here on YouTube, but everywhere, that are behaving this way. And they're wondering why they have so many issues in their life. It's because they can't solve the most obvious issue, the one they have within themselves and how they see themselves, right? They don't love themselves. It all starts with loving yourself, man. And that's what I want to help people, figure out. I want to help people learn to love themselves. Now, Fizzin, before that, while I was on break, you said, well, when women play that game, it's called Guess Why I'm Mad, so don't play it, LOL. Well, Fizzin, here's the thing. You already know how women are. Women are emotional beings. They react to everything emotionally all day, every day, based on how they're feeling in the present moment. You ever been with a woman, Fizzin? And, let's say it's like 65 degrees or 60 degrees instead of 70, right? And to you as a man, you're not wearing a jacket and it's not really cold, but she says, oh, it's cold, I need a jacket, or, turn on the heater in the car, right? You ever been with a woman that reacts that way? That's perfectly normal, dude. And that's something that as a man, you need to assume. Well, you need to not even assume, you need to know. That's how women are. And you have to have a tolerance for it. If you don't have a tolerance for it and you don't understand women's emotions, wants, and needs, then you have to withdraw and say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to be alone. That's what I try to help people with as well. It's not a game that women play, bro. It's a part of their biology. It's the way they were made by a higher power that I believe to be God. So we're not here to mess with biology. I don't know of any man on the planet, any straight man on the planet that wouldn't want to be with a good woman. It's a natural thing for a man and woman to be together. And if you want to be with a woman and have a long-term, everlasting, sustainable relationship or marriage, you've got to understand a woman's emotions. You've got to understand that while men may think, women play that game called Guess Why I'm Mad, it's not a game they're playing, dude. That's how they are. That's normal for them. Normal. Is it frustrating? Yeah. But men and women are biologically different, bro. It's the bottom line. It's the bottom line. Now let's get back to the blog posting here. When I left off where it says, men today still often worry and feel insecure about the following. Being a good provider. Men have been socially conditioned to take on the role of the provider in a relationship. That's what a man was naturally created for. Once again, by a higher power that I believe to be God. You may believe it's somebody else or something else, but I believe it's God. And I love you regardless of what you believe, but yeah, that's the role of a man. That's how it's always been, biologically. Being able to take care of a partner and a family and keeping them safe and financially secure weigh heavily on their minds. That's normal for a man. That's what we were put on this planet to do. Even in today's world where dual income households, well, dude, what you really wanted to say is even in today's world of modern day feminism and radical feminism, let me fill in the gaps that you're not stating here, brother. Even in today's world where dual income households, both the man and the woman are working, are common, men still feel the pressure to be the main provider and protector. Well, that's masculine energy. Because even in the modern world where women are working, I will tell you this right now. This is with no disrespect to women. There are women out there that have come out and said, if I make more money than my husband, okay, if my job pays more money then my husband's job pays. It's not going to affect how I see him. That's a bunch of crap. Because, for example, let's say you're married to a woman that makes 200 grand a year, and you as a man make 50 grand a year. You're not going to be able to really buy a house almost anywhere only making 50 grand a year. Definitely not here in the Bay Area. Even making 200 grand a year would not be enough for a house. The homes are millions out here. It's ridiculous. But anyway, the bottom line is, despite this world of modern day feminism and women being empowered and having equal rights, no problem. Women still respond to men in relationships and marriages the same way as always. They look up to a man for a man's strength, emotional strength, physical strength. Okay. They look at his, communication skills mentally. They look to see how spiritually in tune he is with himself. If you don't have all that, it doesn't matter, right? And if you are not doing your part and being a good provider, despite the fact that most homes today are dual income, the woman will fall out of love with you slowly over time, and then she'll eventually leave you because she'll lose respect for you. And that's why when I say what feminism has done to women, it's artificially conditioned them to do things that they weren't biologically made to do. Again, no problem that women are doing it, but understand biologically, women were made to be homekeepers and men were made to be providers. Those are just facts, right? But in the modern world, empowering women changes that, and now you have dual income households, right? And in many cases, you have women making more money than men. And initially they're saying, well, we're okay making 3 times as much as our man. But in every single marriage or relationship where I've seen the woman makes a lot more money than the man, it eventually fails every time. I've never seen it work. Never. And you know the reason why, in my opinion? Because women are going to have a hard time respecting a man that doesn't bring more to the table than they do. Because that's how things were made to be biologically since the inception of humankind. Again, not trying to take anything away from what women have earned today and gotten through their rights. But it has affected marriages and relationships. This is one of the reasons that losing a job or experiencing financial stress can cause depression in many men. Well, yeah, because their woman or wife is depending on their income for their family. Let me tell you, my father, my late father that passed away 11 years ago, the 11-year anniversary of my father's passing just happened earlier this month. My dad always worked hard and made good money, but there were a few years where, he got screwed over on a bad business deal and he wasn't working for a couple of years, but he found a way to work through it. It was stressful. But let me tell you, my mother stood by him, supported him. And because he saved a lot of money and bought properties, he was able to shift around money and keep the household going until he was able to figure out, him getting screwed over on a bad business deal and then get back to work and start making good money again. My father was the clear-cut definition of a man, of a man's man. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, he was a real man. The guy was the strongest man I've ever met in my life. I'm not saying that just because he was my father. He still is. He's in a better place now. Hopefully one day when my time comes, I'll join him there. But he had one purpose. He had one purpose in his life. His purpose was to provide for his family. His family, my mother, my brother, and I, we were all dependent on him for our survival. And he never once let us down. Never once let us down. Hey, Devil's Queen, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Let me read a few chat comments right now. Red Pill Business says, nothing wrong with being nice to your woman. Just don't let her manipulate you. I agree, bro. I don't let anyone manipulate me, man. When I was younger, they used to manipulate me, but I'm a grown-ass 46-year-old man now. I don't let anyone get to me, man. I'm a rock. Just like you, Fizzin. Alex the Beer Master. Eli, I sure would like to have a good woman. I am rude, you 100% my friend. What do you mean by that, Alex? I think you left a word out there. Can you tell me what you meant by that? Eli, I sure would like to have a good woman. I am rude, you 100% my friend. Okay, not quite sure what you mean by that. Devil's Queen. Hey, Lionel. Hey, Devil's Queen. Again, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Devil's Queen says, hi, Queen. Red Pill Fizzin. No, actually, when they do that, they're trying to push your buttons. So that's when you walk away and come back when she's calmed down. I've said that before. No, dude, they're not. See, Fizzin, I love you like a brother, but this is where I have to disagree with you. They're not trying to push your buttons. They're going through something internally, Fizzin. They're going through something, and it may involve you as the man, as their boyfriend or their husband, or it may not even involve you. It may involve a friend of hers or her family or other people. But see, women don't want to burden, a good woman doesn't want to burden her man that she cares for with her problems. So she starts to have the droopy face. She starts to quiet up. And in essence, she's trying to communicate to you without words. We call that nonverbal communication, that she really needs your help and support. And she wants you to go and say, hey, what's wrong? Let's talk about it, baby. And that's when you say, hey, baby, you're not being yourself. Are you okay? I'm okay, babe. No, babe, you're not okay. I want to help you work through this. What's going on? No, babe, there's nothing wrong. No big deal, right? And I've said it before, Fizz, and when a woman says there's nothing wrong, there's something really freaking wrong, man. I used to tell that to Dana when I was with her. I'm like, look, when you tell me there's nothing wrong, babe, there's something wrong. So tell me what the F is wrong, so I can help you through it, and then I can take you to dinner, and we can have some fun. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, well, you know, babe, I'm going to go take a walk, and when you're ready to talk, you know where to find me. Walk down the stairs. 2 minutes later, hey, babe, can we talk? Oh, babe, I thought you needed some time. No, I'm ready to talk now, right? You're right, Fizzin. When you walk away, it's the greatest thing when you're dealing with a woman in that situation, because the strongest negotiating position a man has with a woman is walking away and meaning it, okay? When you're walking away, in essence, you're conveying that, look, babe, I'm trying to be reasonable with you, and I want to help you with your problem, but you're telling me there's no problem, and I know there's a problem. So when you're ready to talk about it, when you work through whatever you're working through internally and you're ready to talk, you know where to find me, right? And the moment you walk away, they start chasing you. That's beautiful. That's textbook. Perfect right there, right? The way you're successful with women is you let them chase you. You don't chase them. The moment you start chasing them, it's over. Red pill isn't, well, in my opinion, if your woman makes more money than you, I don't think she can respect you. You got to bring something to the table. Right, bro. And you're right about that. But here's the problem in the modern world. Women want equality, which is fine. Women want to work and make as much money as a man or more money than a man. And they think they're going to be okay making more money than you. But if that's the actual case, every instance of that I've seen amongst couples that I know where the woman was making 2 to 3 times as much as the man, it's never worked out because she loses respect for him. And she feels like she's the provider instead of the man. It's more of the masculine role to be the provider, right? And again, like I said, no problem that women are empowered, but women have been put in the position they're in today in an artificial way to force equal rights, which is fine, no problem. But it's also forcing women to do things or empowering women to do things that are out of their original biology, of their purpose. So that's why even if they say they're okay with making more money than their man initially, eventually, if the man doesn't start making close to as much as she's making or more, it's going to be over. She's not going to be able to respect the man, regardless of the feminist era or not. This has nothing to even do with, feminism at this point. It has to do with respect. And is the man a good enough provider, or is she bringing more to the table than him? Again, women have always looked up to a man for their strength, emotionally, physically. They look up to a man for their mental stability. They look up to a man for his security, financially and emotionally, right? And mentally, right? And if you can't provide all that, what good are you to her? Because she's naturally the exact opposite of you. Men and women are polar opposites, right? They need you to balance them out. And again, I have no problem with women being liberated and working all these jobs and making more money than men, but it's going to affect them. Whether they think it does or not, it will affect them. You're right, Fizzin. Devil's Queen. I would be happy if a man I would be with was just to stay faithful to me. If he flirts, it's okay as long as he never takes it past just the flirting. I don't want a woman I'm dating flirting with other guys. Come on, Devil's Queen. You're selling yourself short again. You're much better than that, and you deserve more than that. You deserve a lot more than that. Don't give up. You'll find the right man. Devil's Queen, my grandfather was the same as your father, Eli. That's good to hear. You had a great upbringing, Devil's Queen. I like that. I like hearing that. Red pill fizzing. Then again, there's a lot of women today who take care of men who are straight bums because they feel some type of way. So it's not really about the money either. Well, in some cases it may work, dude. But the bottom line is that I'm a man and I want to be with a more submissive woman than a dominant woman. I'm not saying I want her to be 100% submissive, but 70% of the time, she needs to be submissive, and the other 30% she can be dominant. If a woman is more than 30%, if a woman is dominant more than 30% of the time, which is what I'm trying to say, it's just not going to work out. Being dominant is more of a masculine characteristic, not feminine. And that's despite the feminist era or not. That's despite women being empowered in the modern world or not. This has nothing to do with equal rights or empowerment. This has to do with what we were biologically made to be between men and women, and how men and women have always biologically responded to each other. Oh, man. Yeah, the feminist era has made it one big confusion. Trust me, it took me a while to figure this all out. Alex the Beer Master, that was a mistype. Sorry about that, Eli. Well, what did you mean to say, bro? You can type it again. Say whatever you want, dude. No worries. Queen Helen Casey says, Fizzin, I am done taking care of men. That's why I stay single. Well, Queen, if you enjoy the company of a man, you shouldn't give up on finding a good man. You take all the time you need, and one day, you may change your mind. And hopefully these streams here that I run, help you to understand how many men are nowadays. Queen, maybe you've met the wrong men. Maybe you've been meeting men that are insecure and immature. What if you found a mature man that respects you and treats you well, right? How would you feel about that? You really don't want to be single for the rest of your life, Queen. I don't. Alex the Beer Master, I wish I had a wonderful woman in my life. That's all. Yeah, me too, bro. Me too, bro. Hey, dude. Like, look, dude, and I'm not being weird by saying this. You and I are two good-looking guys with great personalities, man. We're a catch, right? I know I'm a catch, and I'm sure you know you're a catch. And because the way the world is nowadays, the modern world, it's much more difficult. But you know what, Alex? You keep doing you. I'm going to keep doing me. And eventually, when the time is right, the right person will just fall into our lap. That's a figure of speech, by the way. Don't take it out of context, all right? The Devil's Queen, I'm okay, Eli, all right? Red Pill Fizz. And actually, Eli, a lot of women are going to find that annoying if you keep asking them what's wrong, because in their mind, you should already know what's wrong, LOL. No, dude. You don't know what's wrong. You know that something is wrong, but you don't know exactly what's wrong. Dude, I get what you're trying to say there. What women want you is to pick up on the fact that there's something wrong, and then they want you to go approach them to help them figure it out. But because they don't want to bother you, they're going to fight you off because they feel like they're burdening you with their problem. And you have to go and say, look, babe, I want to help you. I'm your man. That's my purpose. My purpose as a man partially is to help you with whatever you need help working through. So yes, you need to identify that there's actually a problem based on her behavior, Fizzin, but we're not fortune tellers. We're not psychics. We can't read what's wrong. We got to ask them what's wrong. And if they keep saying, oh, there's nothing wrong, that's a bunch of hooey. You push it a few times, babe, I know there's something wrong. No, there's nothing wrong. I know there's something wrong. No, there's nothing wrong. Babe, let me tell you, every time a woman's told me there's something wrong, every time I've asked a woman what's wrong, and she says there's nothing wrong, there's something really freaking wrong. So tell me what's wrong. I'm not ready to talk about it. Okay, well, I'm going to walk away. When you're ready to talk about it, let's talk about it. You walk away, she chases you down 2 minutes later, you talk about it, she feels better. Oh, babe, thank you so much. I feel so much better. All right, babe, let's go to dinner. Have a nice dinner. And let's come back and let me tear you up in the bedroom, right? Then it's all gravy, right? All gravy, right? Hey, Terry's GG&G, I got your message behind the scenes. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, but I'll look into that later, man. Are you in the chat now, Terry? Let's see, is Terry's GG&G here? He just sent me a private message behind the scenes. All right, let's continue here so we wrap this up soon. The next one, Some guys are really insecure about this. This is something that you got to get this. You got to get this aspect done right here. Whoops, sorry. Let me fix this properly. All right, here we go. Sexual performance. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh, I did not go to the other screen. I'm sorry. I didn't switch over to the other screen earlier. I'm sorry, folks. You didn't see the other part, I believe. Now we're here. My apologies. Okay, sexual performance. The ability to satisfy a woman is a source of concern for many men. This is a big problem. However, because sexual satisfaction is personal, it varies in its reality and isn't readily quantifiable. It is also an issue because if there are sexual problems, many people, especially men, find them very difficult to talk about. Sexual related issues that go unaddressed can cause a man to feel inadequate and ashamed. Here's the thing. You're going to know if you're sexually compatible with a woman after being intimate with her once or twice. You're going to know. That first time is going to say a lot. Okay? Maybe the first and second time. And if you're having performance issues, performance anxiety, etc., you're having a hard time, finishing, etc., whatever, then maybe you just weren't meant to be with that person. Maybe you're not turned on enough by them. Maybe you like their personality, but you aren't physically attracted to them. It could be a variety of things. But being a good lover as a man is critical. It's not the only thing, but it is the one thing that will destroy your relationship when everything else is right on track. You could be the best looking guy, have the best job. You could be a great communicator mentally. You could be emotionally, stable, and you could be emotionally supportive. You can have every other quality a woman's looking for, and if you're a terrible lover, you're out the door. So, now if you have actual medical issues that affect your sexual performance, I would definitely see your doctor and see what can be done to take care of that. And if, there's no way around it and you're not able to perform, there are some men out there that go through things and they're not able to perform sexually at the level they used to, but they still want the company of a woman. You gotta, when you go out there and meet women or put online dating profiles, you got to be honest about it. Hey, I'm looking for more companionship. I'm not able to perform sexually at the level I used to. I'm really looking for someone that's understanding to that, right? You got to be honest about it. Because if you're not, you're going to attract a woman that's still able to sexually perform at a high level. And if you can't keep up with her, you're out the door. That's just the way it is. So a lot of men are very insecure about that. Very insecure. But it's nothing to be insecure about, because if there's a cure for your problem, go to your doctor and take care of it. If it's a permanent issue that can't be fixed, you got to just understand that's just the way your life is meant to go. And you got to find a woman that is okay with a lack of intimacy. Or some people, what they'll do is, they'll be with one guy and then the guy will allow them to have, a guy on the side. I mean, I wouldn't enjoy that, but what you choose to do is up to you. As long as you're open and honest with your partner, do what you got to do. Strength and body image. Putting on the gun show or carrying your own six-pack is something many men strive for. Feeling and looking masculine and young is a big issue for many men. It's not an issue for me. I just love looking good and feeling good. I'm secure about it. I love myself. And when I say I love myself, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm not being selfish by it. I love myself internally. I'm only coming out here and saying this on my show because I'm trying to teach you folks as a coach how to internally process this if you love yourself deep within, you're going to have no insecurities. Your life's going to be a lot easier. As it turns out, most men are just as worried about their appearance as women. That is true. That is true. But it doesn't mean you have to be insecure about it. There are some guys out there that are overweight. They'll come out and say, oh, I'm fat. I'm fat. Okay, great. You owned up to it. Okay, cool. What are you going to do about it now? You're going to stay fat and keep just, staying out of shape and staying in an unhealthy state? Or are you going to do something about it? But owning up to it is showing security. Yeah, Terry, I'll talk to you privately behind the scenes regarding what you made me aware of. But I'm just letting you know, Terry, I'm not feeding into any drama or BS. Because, a lot of these people are just very insecure people that want to project onto us. It's not worth my time, dude. If people want to make videos on me or you or other people, that's on them, brother. There's no value unless you feed into it. And I'm not going to give them that value. And plus, I don't have the time for that crap anymore. I dealt with it for 3 years in my neck of the woods. I'm done with it. I'm immune to it. Let them do what they're going to do. Doesn't faze me one bit. All right. Let's go up here. Control. A second here. Oops. Control. Don't cry, don't have emotions, and be in charge. These things are what society expects men to do. However, men are still human. Controlling these normal reactions and making a strong and stoic image is impossible to do all the time. That is true. Like I said earlier, it is okay for men to occasionally cry. It is okay for men to occasionally show emotions. How often is okay and how often is not okay? That just depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the woman you're with. Again, I refer to my ex Dana a lot because, I was, very strong and I would contain my emotions in situations I was regarding her and things we were experiencing to the point of where, I held back, tears and stuff. And then, she kept pushing me because she really cared about me and she really wanted to feel, my emotion. She really wanted to see me share my emotion. And putting myself back in that situation gives me a little bit of an emotional flashback at this moment right now. I'm feeling emotion right now. Because all she wanted to do was bond with me at that level, and I was trying to be a man, and I am a man. But like, what this article just said here, don't cry, don't have emotions, and be in charge. These things are what society expects men to do. However, men are still human. We are. There was a time where I shed a tear during one of those conversations I had with her. I looked at her, I said, I'm ashamed of myself, Dana. Like, I should not be crying right now. Like, she goes, no. She said, no. I feel a lot closer to you and respect you a lot more because you're showing that emotion. And when she said that to me, at that moment, I realized, how good of a woman that woman was, and probably still is. And a lot of people that know my story regarding her and I think I'm not over. I've moved past her, but I'm not going to sit here and not be grateful for what I had with her. And I'm not going to sit here and wonder what it would have been like if things were different and we were still together. Maybe we would have been married. Maybe we would have had a child now. Who knows what would have happened? But I'm very grateful and thankful for her, allowing me to express myself emotionally at times. Because yes, men do need to let it out. Now, it's not about being a whiny crybaby all day, every day. That would turn off anyone, including her. But I would always make it a point, and I would tell her, you know what? I'm your rock. I'm the one that's going to keep it together for the both of us. I know you're a strong woman and you can do your part, but I want to support you as best as possible. And me getting emotional is not going to help the cause. And she told me, she goes, if you need to get emotional at times, please just let it out, because I like feeling that close to you. I can relate to you a lot more when I know you actually have emotions, and I know you do. And I know you're trying to be a strong guy. I know you, and I know you are a strong guy. But you don't have to prove that to me. You've already done it. Just be you. That was a defining moment in my life. And, who knows? Maybe I'll be fortunate to find another woman that feels exactly the same way. I mean, it's going to be very hard to replace that. But see, I'm confident and secure within myself to be able to sit here and 2 years later, almost 2 years after this breakup with a woman I really cared for and that cared about me, I can sit here and talk about it and not worry about any scrutiny I get from being out here on YouTube or anyone else. I really don't care what anyone says. It was a defining moment in my life that I cherish and that I'm also very thankful and grateful for. Anyway, let's see. Is there anything more? How to tell if your man is insecure. Knowing if the man you love is insecure isn't always easy. Insecurities can manifest in different ways for everyone. Men in particular are conditioned to bury the direct evidence and avoid discussing them at all. Therefore, insecurities in men can be difficult to see. There are signs, however, some of them are. Let me see how much longer this article is. Oh, it's almost done. We're almost done. Some of them are seeming needy. Men who are insecure may need constant reassurance of your love and their worthiness of it. They may be jealous of others and act in desperate and controlling ways to keep you close. Boy, I know quite a few people out here on YouTube that behave that way. And they're very controlling. And they beat up women too. Pretty sad. One of the worst things you can do to ruin your relationship is to be needy as a man. That is not masculine energy. It's feminine energy. Women are completely allowed to be needy. That's part of their natural biology. Women are going to be needy, and they're going to look up to you as a man for your strength to balance them out in that aspect as well. All of the things that a man should not be are what a woman is. That's why it's not okay for men to be this way, because women are this way, and women look up to a man for their strength to help them balance them out. The women look up to the man to help balance her out. And if you're needy, and she's already needy, and you have two needy people in the relationship, it's like having two women in the relationship. A woman already has one vagina. She doesn't need two, especially she doesn't need her man to have a vagina. She needs her man to have a penis. And I'm saying that in a figurative way, but literally too. It comes in handy for the romance part, right? Don't be needy, guys. Don't be needy. Do not ask for reassurance. Women are always going to ask for reassurance. That's normal. You can reassure your woman as often as she asks you. Do not ever ask her for reassurance. That is not masculine energy at all. Do not be controlling. Do not be jealous. Do not watch her every move. Let her be. Because here's the thing. If you feel the need to watch her every move because you feel that she's going to cheat on you or doing something behind your back, instead of watching her every move, if you notice that happening, sit down and talk with her. Hey, you know what? You're just not being the same anymore. You're harder to get a hold of. We don't spend as much time together. Something going on. Let me know, because I'd rather withdraw from this relationship than keep something going that you're not happy in, because it's not going to make me happy. That's the way to handle it. But don't sit there and, handle that in a different way. Let her get away with it and then be needy and try to control her back over to you instead of whatever else she's doing. The best thing to do in that situation is just let her go. Abusive behavior. This isn't necessarily physical abuse. In fact, insecure men are more likely to be emotionally abusive or manipulative. This is part of wanting to control their environment and wanting to keep anyone from seeing how vulnerable and scared they are. Now, again, I know several people on YouTube and off of YouTube that behave this way. I even know some people that are physically, mentally, and emotionally abusive and very manipulative. And there's one dude I know that's all of the above and then some. Extremely manipulative, extremely manipulative. No need to be abusive to your woman in any way, mentally, emotionally, or physically. If you physically abuse her, you're going to probably end up in jail. And if you abuse her emotionally, it's going to drive you crazy and her crazy. And you may still end up in jail. You never know. If it's not flowing and feels right to be with that particular woman, then you got to sit down and talk with her. Babe, I'm just sensing you really don't want to be with me anymore. Is there something going on? Because I would rather talk about this, and if it's not meant for us to be together anymore, we can end it right now, and we can both go out and get what we really want to have, right? There are better ways to handle it. There are more mature ways to handle these situations. Dishonesty. Insecure men are also more prone to lying or inflating things. Huh. Yeah. Sounds familiar. Not about me, but about other people I know. Their fear of rejection is so strong that they create things or embellish things that they think will make them more attractive to others. In essence, they lie. They make themselves appear to be more valuable in many ways than they actually are. That's one of the biggest insecurities right there. Let me read that one more time. Dishonesty. Insecure men are also more prone to lying or inflating things or projecting. I like to call it projecting. Their fear of rejection is so strong that they create things or embellish things. Let me go up here. That they think will make them more attractive to others. So in essence, they're not being themselves. They're pretending to be someone else and trying to get everyone, including the woman they're with, to believe that's who they are. Now, they might be able to get away with it for a while, but once the woman figures out that this guy has not been himself, it's going to be over. Be yourself from the very beginning. Be honest, be ethical, be secure. Okay? The best way to be, in my opinion, and I heard this from Dan Bacon again, Coach Dan Bacon from Australia. You got to love a woman in a dominant yet loving way. And when I say dominant and loving way, it doesn't mean you beat her up. It doesn't mean you emotionally abuse her. It doesn't mean you mentally abuse her. That doesn't mean that. It means that you make your presence aware as a man. And you respect her at the same level she respects you. And if she's not respecting you, you talk with her about it maturely. And if she yells at you, you don't yell at her. The worst thing you can do to a woman when she's yelling at you is yell at her back, because it's like pouring more fuel on the fire. Your job as a man is to diffuse the fire. Remember, women are emotional beings. They respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. That's that. Your job is to stay calm, no matter how much she yells or screams. And then she's going to keep screaming and screaming, right? And eventually she's going to scream till her lungs can't scream anymore, right? Most women are like that. It can be normal at times for them to react in that way, right? When that's happened to me in the past, I just sit there and look at them. Well, babe, you're pretty upset. Yeah, what you going to do about it? I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to finish this rant, and then we'll have a mature conversation about it. I'm a mature, grown-ass man. I'm not, what do you want me to do, yell at you? No. You know you want to yell at me. No, I don't. It's not worth it. It's not going to get me anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get us anywhere. So, oh, you're a smart ass. You think you know everything about women. No, I don't. But what I do know is that women are emotional beings. And if you feed into their emotions when they're pissed off, it's like pouring gas on the fire. Why would I want to do that when I care about you, baby? So I'll sit here and let you scream your lungs off, and I'll just sit here and watch the show. You're putting on a great show, babe, right? That's what I've done. No, you think you're funny. Oh, no, I know I'm funny. And I also know that when your emotions burn out and your lungs can't scream anymore, and we have a nice conversation, babe, we're going to have some great makeup sex, right? We're going to have some great sex afterwards, a great dinner, whatever, right? You think I'm going to go to dinner with you and have sex with you? Yeah. You got to be confident, right? And then she'll look at you and say, yeah. You're probably right. I'm sorry for being a bitch, babe. No, you're not being a bitch, babe. You're a woman. You have emotions. I understand it. Most men don't. I do. That's that. And finally, these are not the only signs of an insecure man, but they are some of the most common. It is important to understand that everyone has insecurities and that they are normal. How we deal with them is where things can go from being healthy and productive to being unhealthy and destructive. I got to read that last line one more time. How we deal with them, meaning the insecurities, is where things can go from being healthy and productive to being unhealthy and destructive. Oh boy. That word destructive is a pretty powerful word. Holy Moses. Devil's Queen says, LOL, my dating life, trying to get to know a guy, needy to me in a man is such a turnoff. It's a turnoff to every woman. A man being weak, needy, desperate, and most importantly, insecure, it's over. It's over, Jennifer. You're the one that's going to be more naturally insecure. So you are going to look up to the man's strength to balance out your insecurities, right? And if he's more insecure than you, what good is he to you? He's no good at all. What part of that don't you understand, guys? Controlling men makes me a devil. Well, controlling man is the most insecure man on the planet. When a man has to control a woman, that is a man that has the highest level of insecurities. Stay away from them. The moment you're with a man that starts to be even a little controlling, walk away. It's not going to get any better. Don't put yourself in that position because that man is a very emotionally unstable man that's very insecure, and he's going to try to offset his insecurities by controlling you. And if you stay in that relationship, it's going to keep escalating, and it could put you in a very dangerous situation you don't want to be in. All right, everyone. It is 1:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I've been on for 2 hours and 14 minutes, almost 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I'm going to get on out of here. I mean, there's a part here that says, see also 6 ways to deal with an insecure partner. Okay, that may be another article I can read another time. But anyway, so I'm going to get on out of here, folks. I will be back later today for a Walking with Purpose stream. I'm not quite sure what time it's going to be. It's probably going to be later in the afternoon around, 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern, 3 or 4 p.m. Pacific. So we're looking at like 5 and a half. I can't even talk. We're looking at 4 to 4.5 hours from now, 5 hours from now or so. I'll be doing a Walking with Purpose stream with another great topic that I'll surprise you with. All right. Let me switch over to the main screen here. Let me just wrap up by saying this before I shut this thing down. There's not a man on the planet that wants to be called out as an insecure man by another man. I have no problem approaching people and stating how I feel about them based on their behavior. That's what I do as a coach. When I do it, again, I don't do it to attack them, to try to belittle them. I care about everyone. I do. I care about everyone. I even care about people that don't care about me. Because I know that people that don't care about me, it's not that they really don't care about me. They don't really care about themselves. They're not capable of caring, or they're not capable of caring for me or anyone else, because they don't care about themselves. But I still care about those people, and those people need more help than anyone. But again, until they, realize it within themselves, no one can help them. You've got to identify the issue. You've got to be open to getting help after you identify your own issue to be able to make a change. And for many people, most people that are in this predicament, it takes them a long time to come out of it. I've experienced a situation like this in my life in my younger days. I had to work through it. It took me a while. It took me years. For some people, it may take days, some weeks, some months, some a year or two, some many years. Some may never get it. But again, I honestly feel that everyone should have a fair chance at life. And when I see insecure men, insecure middle-aged men in today's modern world act this way, and I know how much that affects their life, deep within it, actually, it hurts me, because I feel everyone deserves to have a fair shot at life and to have what they want and accomplish what they want. So to all the insecure people out there that are watching this, all the insecure men that are watching this out there, I hope you got something out of this. And I hope whether you love me or hate me, most of you probably hate me that are insecure, just know I do care about your health and your well-being. And I really wish that one day you're able to come to terms with what I'm saying here and work on yourself and better yourself. And don't do it for me. You want to do it for me anyway. I don't even want you to do it for me. Do it for yourself. I want nothing out of it. I just want you to have a fair shot at life. And that's where I'm going to end this stream today, folks. At 2 hours and 19 minutes, almost 2 hours and 20 minutes. I want to thank all the moderators in the chat. I want to thank all the consumers of content. Yeah, great show. It's a show that brings out some emotion to me, because I really wish some things could be different regarding many people that have come into my life one way or another, whether they're relationships with women or other friends or people I've collaborated with on YouTube, people I've collaborated with in the past through my in-person networking events, etc. Sometimes I just wish things could be different. But I've accepted the fact that some things will never change. And you just have to accept those things and move forward with your life. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you later today for our Walking with Purpose live edition. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. We are out.